And as much as I wanted her to get what she felt she deserved, something in me wanted to say, figure out another way or let it go. Because you can't compete with billions and billions of dollars in a judicial system that has the power to take your opportunity to have a fair trial away from you, just like that.
Shout out to Nicci Gilbert from Brownstone. She was talking about her last conversation that she had with Angie Stone. And at this time, she was talking about how Angie was disappointed. Nobody really reached out to help her in regards to getting her money from the record label. Now, she does say that she warned Angie Stone about going against the music label because at the end of the day, they got the power and the money. So let's go ahead and get into this video, y'all.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And yes, I'm your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling today? I apologize for being late. I literally just got home like 5 minutes ago, so I had to hurry up, set everything up. So I'm here though. I watched this video earlier this morning. This is from Nicci Gilbert. Some of y'all are like, who's Nicci Gilbert, AT2? Nicci Gilbert was one of the co-stars on R&B Divas where Angie Stone actually starred on. But Nicci Gilbert is from the group Brownstone. You know, me. I don't want to rain on this parade. Sing it with me. But I'm starting to question the love that was made. I'm not looking for just an event. You know, if you love me, you know, all that. But what's up, everybody in the chat? What's up, Stephanie, Sun, Demetria, Patrice, Starnique, Clorinda? What's up, everybody? Let me block you real quick, Clorinda, if you want to be playing games, because that was a great vocal performance right there. What's up, Barbara? Everybody, thank you. I appreciate y'all for being here. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and play the video for you guys because she dropped a few gems in here. So let's get to it. And we know her and Angie had a close relationship with each other.
Right after Angie posted the video that's kind of going viral now, where everyone is assuming a bunch of shit. But I know from our conversation, and I'm sure, you know, there are other people that she spoke with who also like, yeah, okay, that ain't what it is. But anyway, and I remember Angie saying, you know, talking to me about pursuing her ownership and pursuing, you know, her what belonged to her. You know, Angie's been in this business for so long, longer than most of us, and she was a really prolific songwriter, an amazing singer, an amazing woman, an amazing spirit. And she, like so many of us, did not believe that she was being treated right and she was being paid properly. And Angie was tired of having to go on the road, not tired of singing, not tired of being an artist, you know, not tired of spreading her amazing gift with all of us. But she was tired of feeling like it's something that she had to do in order to leave a legacy behind for her children and in order to, quite honestly, sustain and maintain, you know, her life, her home, her finances. And I'm not going to.
So again, she was saying Angie loved to perform. However, she had to because Again, I don't know if a lot of you know, but artists actually make money from doing live shows. They rarely make money from their music, especially if they're not producing, doing the songwriting themselves. Even when they do produce it and do the songwriting, a lot of the record labels will have a clause where you still don't recruit any of that fund for doing your own songwriting. Shout out to Judge Shitty Court. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships, but you don't get your royalties from that sometimes. So you get screwed over in this industry. Now, the video that she was talking about was the one where Angie Stone had posted on December 26th after she had got sick. And remember, she said the needle, she got an infection from the blood. She's talking about that one when she revealed that Universal had her money and the splits weren't done right. And she was definitely going to recoup her funds. Now, listen to this because she's going to get into that she warned Angie about doing that because these people are very powerful.
Go really deep into the intimate parts of our conversation because that's whack. But some of the things that she stated publicly was that, she was pursuing justice for herself. And I'm going to be honest with you all. During our conversation, I didn't advise her against it. I warned her about how difficult and probably impossible what she was pursuing was going to be. I actually referred Angie to some attorneys, and I warned her that what she was attempting to do was going to be one of the most difficult things she's ever done in her life. And I said that not because I wanted her to be afraid and to back down, because I applaud any woman, any person, but women in particular. And the reason why is because we know what it is, you guys. It's a man's world. It is a white man's world. And it is a world where money and power move in tandem. And money and power don't give a shit about talent except to exploit it and make as much money and get as much power from it as it can. I explained to her that my big lesson was that if you don't have that kind of money and that kind of power, the chances of you having a fair outcome in a trial or even going to trial at all are slim to none. And as much as I wanted her to get what she felt she deserved, something in me wanted to say, figure out another way or let it go.
Wow, that's pretty deep right there. Figure out another way or let it go. She was basically warning her against it. For those of you who don't know, Nicci Gilbert, she was the creator of R&B Divas, the reality show, right? And she was the original creator. However, she got screwed over with the network and stuff like that. So she knows about going against big entities trying to get what's owed to you. So she was letting Angie know, like, hey, you might want to let this go. And now, is it right for Angie at the time to let it go? No, Angie was hell bent that she was going to pursue it. But Nicci was coming from a standpoint she already been through it, because I know a lot of people are going to watch this and be like, how can she say this? You ain't no friend, blah, blah, blah. But she's letting her know, like, hey, if you ain't got the money, it's kind of like us suing YouTube. Say, for example, we sue YouTube. YouTube, I'm not suing you. YouTube got a whole bunch of lawyers. I ain't making that kind of money where I can sue YouTube. I'm gonna just be honest.
Because you can't compete with billions and billions of dollars in a judicial system that has the power to take your opportunity to have a fair trial away from you, just like that. Now, we're different people and our situations were different. But the reality of what it takes to take somebody that powerful to task, especially when you got a lot of other things going on, health issues, financial stuff, it just, I wanted to be honest and truthful with her and just let her know that it was going to be very difficult.
And remember, because of Al, oh, I was about to say Al Reynolds, Al B. Shore, who put her business out there. We know due to Al B. Shore, she needed 2 transplants for her kidneys. Remember? So she was going through a lot of health issues. And would she really be able to go in and out of court and really be able to fight it? And especially you're dealing with insurance and medical bills and all that stuff. So it was a lot of pressure on Angie. Plus, she's performing because she still has to work and make money. As you guys know, her royalties were all messed up. Like I said, her group, the Sequence, they had to sue Bruno Mars because he sampled them and didn't pay them. And I still don't know for a fact she got her money.
But I will say, in true Angela Laverne Brown Williams Stone form, she said, I'm ready. She said, I'm ready. I'm going to do whatever I need to do.
Didn't know it was going to do that.
And another thing that we talked about, so we can kind of get on the subject of what Tyler Perry said at her funeral, was she talked about how disappointed that she was that she didn't get the attention after posting her video that she had hoped that she would get from people who are supposed to love and support and have her back and be there for her. Now, Tyler said he didn't know. And I don't know when he saw it. I wasn't there. So I don't know when he saw it. I don't know when it was brought to his attention. So this isn't like, an attack on his commentary, right? But when Tyler said he was upset and he was angry when he found out, it just made me think about, in fact, we joked around when in our interview, when we gave each other our flowers, and she's like, call her, Tyler, call her, reach out. She said, I'm waiting for Tyler to reach out, and people are busy and people got their own stuff going on. But I think as a collective, just our community in general, the struggles and the challenges that creatives, Black creatives in particular, have faced due to the unfair practices of the entertainment industry have been going on for years and years and years. I believe it was Mama Morton, Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog, and Elvis Presley, and Prince and his battle, and Michael and his battle, and everybody in their battles. This battle for intellectual property rights and fairness has been going on.
Yeah, we know Prince went through it. Michael went through it. Michael went through it with Tommy Mottola with Sony. So it's been a battle for a long time with the music industry and getting paid what you deserve and what you should have been already getting paid,
For years and years and years. So for anybody in our community to not be aware that this has been going on begs the question, do we not see things because we don't want to see them? Do we not repost, retweet, share, advocate while people are here and need it most because we are concerned about what opportunities that might impede or fuck up for us?
Right. So you remember in the beginning when she was talking with Angie, and Angie was surprised that not really too many people reached out to her after she made that video on the 26th. Remember, we didn't really discuss that video. Well, that video didn't come back into light until after she died, that she was trying to get her money. I actually did follow Angie Stone channel from the beginning, but she was like infrequent when she would post, so it wouldn't really come up on my timeline really anymore, right? But I remember in the beginning when she first came with her Diddy story and those kind of things, she was really prevalent and she was posting all the time. And then all of a sudden it stopped. So that video on the 26th, I admit I did not see that until after she passed away. Put a one in the chat if you didn't see that video until after she passed away. I think a lot of us didn't see it. But again, what Nicci was saying was that a lot of people will be all like, oh, well, I don't want to touch that because I don't want to ruin my opportunity. So it's all like, hey, I'm with you, but I'm not really with you. You see what I mean? Like, I'm with you, but hey, I ain't going to stick my neck out there for you because I ain't trying to ruin my shit. It's sad. And so again, she's not blaming Tyler Perry, but at the end of the day, you have these high, powerful people, and it's all like, well, where were you? Where were you during that time? And now you crying at my funeral and you saying they need to do this and that. Okay, you say it because now it's popular or it's prevalent. But beforehand, when I needed you, where were you? And I don't want to say it's too late to help now because I mean she does have an estate, right? She got her children, grandchildren, but it is late. You know what I mean?
Again, this is not me speaking specifically about Tyler, because again, I don't know when he found out. But it brings another question to mind. Why is it that we only talk about it publicly and advocate for it in a big way after these artists are gone? After these artists can no longer fight those battles because they've transitioned or they've given up or they have become addicted or lost. It's the story of every Black entertainer, not every. It's the story of the vast majority of Black entertainers, that they are broken down, creatively stripped of their IPs and their gifts and their songs and their royalties. And the minute they gone, it's like, did you know that? Well, we all knew. We all know Angie's story is 75, 80% of this industry story.
Mm-hmm.
And my question is, when, and again, I don't just mean Tyler, because there are outlets everywhere that are like, hey, did you hear? And this might have happened, and they got da 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 da. Now listen, we as a community have to get into the practice of believing people when they say it the first time, and supporting and advocating for those people. Because if we had supported the people before Angie Stone, who talked about the inequalities in music and entertainment, then it might have been easier for her. Maybe she could have avoided some of those pitfalls. And now, are we going to change anything because of what we know happened with Angie? Or, I'm sorry, let me be careful about how I say that. Because of what we assume happened with Angie? What's the solution to the problem? It's great to say, this is unfair, this is not cool, I'm angry about this. What actionable steps are we as a community prepared to take to see to it that this does not continue to happen? Because I know for sure that that's what Angie Stone, she wasn't just concerned about Angie. She was tired of it happening to everybody. In fact, she's like, Nicci, I watch you go through it. I watch such go through it. I'm tired. And this ain't right. And we shouldn't have to work until we're 80 and 90 years old. Isleys, OJ's, Frankie Beverly, Roberta Flack, who had been in hospice for a minute. And there's all these tributes and all this pomp and circumstance, and everybody, people falling out, people crying, people mad, people. But
you know what? I just realized something because she brought up Roberta Flack. So I had seen Celebrity Scandalous. I've seen her comment about going to the Aunties concert. I know it's not called the Aunties concert, but you know the one with Patti LaBelle, Shaka Khan, Gladys Knight, and Stephanie Mills. Them women shouldn't be touring like that. Like they should be relaxing and chilling. And I'm not saying they're broke, and I'm not saying they don't want to, but you know, how many dates do that tour got, you guys? That tour has a lot of dates on it. Like they should be chilling. Like they should come out like once every blue moon, do a performance, and then be resting. But Patti LaBelle is probably good. But again, the rest of them probably have to do all these concerts and stuff. Like they're still out here working. Like when I think about like the old white ones, they don't really be out here performing like that. They be chilling. But ours, they be having the Isley Brothers. The Isley Brothers are always on tour. Why do our people be touring like that? You know, our OG shouldn't be touring like that. She makes a good point. You bought your tickets today, Tierra? Yeah. And again, I'm not saying don't, but I'm saying she's bringing up a good question. Like, you know, Roberta Flack, she was on hospice. Like, what is she doing? Gladys Knight was just sick. Yeah. Gladys Knight did post and say that she's back at home. She's good. But damn, she's going on tour? Like, you sure she shouldn't be resting? I mean, it's a fair question, you know? Oh, remember they were thinking something was going on with Anita Baker because she had to cancel a lot of tour dates and stuff like that. Anita Baker is another legend. She should be at home too, right? But if these people were getting their royalties and getting paid correctly, they wouldn't have to do like all this stuff. Like, I think the four of them should have a residency or something like that where they stationary. They don't need to be traveling from place to place to place. And that's a lot for them, y'all.
what about when these people are here? See, I know the importance of giving flowers when people can smell them.
Mm.
I know the importance of speaking up. I reposted Angie's live. We talked in great detail about it and how we
Thank
can
you,
work
Newsworthy.
together to figure out a way to amplify the message of what has happened to so many of us. How is it that those people in this industry who don't have to worry about financially where their next check is coming from, who don't have to be on the road traveling from one city to the next at a certain age, risking everything because they have to?
Right. And Grandma Joy, you are right. I think the solution is that we, though, well, not us, but the people in the music industry do have to start speaking up and they do have to start speaking out because at this point, just doing all the tour dates and stuff like that, and nobody stopped it from the beginning from years ago when it was happening, and now it's still happening. We still know of people still signing bad contracts and not getting all their roles. Like it's the story of the music industry. It's been that way since I don't know who was the first record label, but we know it's been like that. I think the gatekeepers, and I don't want to say the gatekeepers because they're not the gatekeepers, but the people who are more prevalent in powerful positions, if they speak out and make sure to look after the other people coming behind them or the people next to them or checking out for their peers, then that will be the change, you know? That will be how you change it because again, most of the money goes back to the record label. It doesn't go to the artist or the songwriter. The producer gets paid up front, which is helpful. But we always hear this story. It's nothing new.
Those creatives and those moguls and those people in our community who know what it's like to have next to nothing, live in your car, be desperate, be broke. Now, I'm not saying that's where Angie was at all. I'm just saying everybody has that story where you came literally from the bottom up, no pun intended. When are those people who can relate to our experiences, who can relate to how difficult it is, when are those people going to really step up and have some actionable responses to the devastating effects of this industry on the lives of really talented, amazing, incredible human beings who have contributed? And her music is going to go on and continue to sell. Her record's going to sell. I'm sure her streaming spot went up so high on Spotify. I'm sure there was a ton.
800%.
And will be for years to come.
That's how much it went up.
Why does that have to be the story? When do we come together as a community? And it's not just about, I don't want you guys to get me confused, because I'm not saying that it's the mogul or the rich Black person or the rich Black celebrity's responsibility to offer a handout, right? The community, the people who stream it, the people who go to the concerts, y'all, you play a really big role in this, because Black people collectively might not have a whole lot of money.
Please hit that like
button. But
we
spend collectively a whole lot of money. We stream a whole lot of content.
Black people are the biggest consumers.
The white male power structure super successful. These streaming platforms, these record labels, the consumers, the people who consume the content that the creators. I've been talking about this for so many years. It's interesting. I was watching Isaac Hayes talking about, he was talking about 35-year copyright. And he was like, I've never heard anybody speak on this. Y'all need to know. I've been hollering about this 35-year copyright and the ownership but because my queue isn't as high as the next person's, because my reputation from R&B divas has been so damaged, because people just think I'm talking out the side of my fucking neck. And I've been in this industry for 30 years, very clear on what needs to change and how that needs to happen. But
right. And with Nicci's status, because she's not as prevalent as, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, or Beyonce, those kind of people, she basically falls on deaf ears, where those people that I just named, they kind of have outside sources that really help them. This is why you see Beyonce go on a tour so much, and she does like these big stadiums, because she knows that's where her money comes from. But somebody like Beyonce is able to negotiate better contracts more than Sam Blow on the street. They can't negotiate no contract. No, you take what I give you, and if you don't want that, oh well. If you don't have any stake, you can't really boss up to these companies and be like, oh, well, I want this or want that. You either take it or you go to the next person and keep shopping around. But more than likely, I mean, one record label give you a deal, you can try another one, they might still give you a,
We've gotten so caught up in deifying the popular crowd that the people who have been boots on the ground, no Roger, no rerun, no rent, this is what's happening and this shouldn't be happening, get ignored until somebody who's been able to pay for the exposure or been able to clown their way into popularity speaks the language. And the dangerous part about that is, if you haven't had those lived experiences and you have not been in the trenches and you don't really know what's going on, then we can't really come up with a solution that actually works. Because everything you're doing is performative. Everything that you're doing is for attention for some other shit that you're doing on the side. And
Nicci is right.
It has had a devastating effect on our community, because we don't find our information or get our information from reading books. We get our information from social media, from music, from stories on television. And all those stories, a lot of those stories are being told by the same people over and over and over again in different ways. What better time than when people are focused on what has happened, when the headlines are talking about how important it is for us to treat people right and make sure people get their money, and how angry people are because that didn't happen. What better time than that? To say, hey, over here, remember me? Hey, yeah, me. Because I know how she feels. I know what it means to work with someone to pour your heart and soul into their creative ideas and to have them treat you like a piece of gum on the bottom of their shoe. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop it right there. Again, I posted the link. I didn't pin the link for Nicci's whole video, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in here again. Here's the link to her video because I wanted to talk about Monique for a minute before we end the show. So, as you guys know, I didn't like it how she used that whole moment when Tyler Perry was talking about Angie getting her money and stuff like that, right? I didn't necessarily like it, but I understood it because here you have Tyler Perry on the stage talking about, yeah, they owe her money, blah, blah, blah. However, we haven't forgot about how Tyler Perry treated Monique. We haven't forgot how she was blackballed, how basically Tyler Perry and Oprah shunned her away because they didn't like that she didn't do free promo for the movie, so forth and so forth, right? We already know the backstory. Now, Monique has every right to share her opinion. I think just the timing of everything, that Angie Stone was just being buried and you using that moment to dig at him, I think that's what more or less people had a problem with. But again, that goes with, okay, well, Tyler Perry, you're one of those gatekeepers that suppress people and stop people from working, stop people from making money. So at the end of the day, how you up on this stage being all performative and talking about this and that, but again, you the one who's a part of the problem. And I think this is prevalent in the Black community, not just the crab in the barrels mentality, but it's more like, oh, well, I'm good. That's your problem. I don't even want to say like we try to keep each other suppressed. I don't even want to say that. But once we get to a certain status or a certain level, once we good, oh, okay, well, that's your problem. You know, you got to solve that. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That ain't my problem. Instead of being like, hey, I want to make sure that I help, the other people behind me or the person next to me. I want to bring everybody up. We're more or less like, oh, well, we made it. We good. And it should be, no, I'm going to make sure all my people are good. I'm going to make sure that the next person that come behind me ain't got to deal with X, Y, and Z. So it did seem a little hypocritical of Tyler Perry talking about Angie Stone needs to get her money and y'all need to pay her what she's worth. And then with the Monique situation, that was not handled correctly. Lee Daniels already came back and apologized. And you see Lee Daniels and Monique are making money together now. She's been in 2 Lee Daniel movies. So what would be so hard with Tyler Perry and Oprah just saying like, hey, we didn't handle that situation right. We apologize. I get Monique releasing the phone calls and all that stuff. Y'all didn't like, well, she didn't release one on Oprah, but Tyler Perry, I could see you being upset because all like, okay, you're going to release my phone call. I don't like that either. However, that was years ago. I'm pretty sure by now, listen, it didn't affect Monique speaking out did not affect Tyler Perry's career. I mean, he got that special on Netflix, not special, but TV series. What is it called? Beauty and Black. He's still out here producing shows and everything like that. It didn't stop his bag. And I don't know why he's not willing to have a conversation with Monique. At least a conversation now and just clearing the air and letting bygones be bygones. And Monique is one of those people, she's willing to let it go. Again, do I like that Monique did that in the moment where Angie Stone is being laid to rest and people are grieving? No. Does she have a right to call out Tyler Perry for being performative and being a hypocrite? Yeah. Mm-hmm. If Angie had lived, she would have been the next Monique. Well, there's going to be a video that I'm going to do again. I kind of wanted to wait for Angie Stone, but I want to be laid to rest, not wait for her, but be laid to rest. There's a few things that I've been looking into. One, Jill Scott was kind of like there to shadow Angie Stone, but then ended up taking Angie Stone's place. And then somebody else who, was shadowing Angie Stone and then took her place, and Angie Stone ended up leaving Clive Davis for, was Alicia Keys. So I want to do two separate videos on those people because, I think Angie Stone, because she wasn't the thinnest. Angie Stone talked about how she felt her weight held her back a lot. They would do the typical, when she does magazines, they would do the typical big girl thing where they only show her face, from the chin up, and not show her whole body to, make it appear that she was slimmer, or they would on. They did a lot to Angie Stone. But again, out of respect, I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm gonna be the first one. I was all like, I'm gonna wait to do those stories, because honestly, to tell you the truth, like the Angie Stone passing away, like it really, it hit kind of hard, because it's all like, it's a part of like your childhood and growing up and hearing her music, and then it's all like, damn, she gone. It was a little harder. It wasn't like one of those things like, I want to be the first one to do a story. I just didn't like that. But anyway, you guys, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Again, I have a video coming up with Juice. Ooh, I forgot to post. Hold on. Before we get out of here, let me post that link to Juice's channel. Hold on, y'all. Because it's at 4:34, so it's less than 10 minutes. Radio, talk show. And we will be talking about the Just Hilarious, all that stuff. So we're going to get into all of that. Oh, shoot. It started in 2 minutes. Hold on. I'm late for the dang show, y'all. How am I late and I'm the special guest? Okay, here we go. Please follow Juice, as I will be on panel with her. What's up, Couture Bay? All right, there you go. Love y'all. Be safe. We out of here. Deuces, everybody.